Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Joy Life Center. We're going to go ahead and get started. We have some people that's waiting. Let's see here. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Miss Jenny, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, and you, ma'am?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you so much for asking. Let's see. Good morning, Miss Bianca, Miss Kashara.
Good
Good,
morning.
good
Good morning.
morning.
Good morning, Miss Susu. Good morning, you guys.
Good morning. Good morning to all.
Good morning. Excuse me. Thank you, thank you, thank you for chiming in this morning. You guys are so great and so consistent. And that's what life change needs, consistency. We can't just drop in and out of our life and expect for a consistent change. We have to be consistent in order to reset this brain, in order to overcome behaviors. Well, yesterday we had an amazing open session. You guys rock. Let me tell you, I was so encouraged the whole day just from listening to you all. So I want to take what we talked about and let's further our process. Let's make sure that our process, we don't just have an experience of change, but we walk in recovery. That's the difference from recovery. Anyone can be abstinent from a behavior. I'll tell you from my own testimonial. In my life, I was addicted to drugs and alcohol. And I had a time where I was abstinent, meaning I went to church, and great, powerful men and women of God laid hands on me. And before I knew it, you know, I no longer use drugs or even smoke cigarettes. But in that relapsing moment of my life, 5 whole years later, in that relapsing moment, what happened was when I came to myself and I got that moment of clarity that this is not working for me, I had to strive. When I went back to get prayed for, I still had the cravings. I still had the obsession. I still was in the routine of doing what I was doing. So I had to realize, you know what, Andrea, you know, I'm going to have to do something different. And that's when I learned the difference between abstinence and recovery. You can be abstinent from enabling. You can be abstinent from anger. You can be abstinent from lying. You can be abstinent from promiscuous behaviors. You can be abstinent from being focused too much on your cell phone. But if we don't have recovery, meaning I'm going to align myself to a set of principles, and I'm going to practice those principles. I'm going to practice those things at work so that I can deal with my unwanted behaviors from the inside out. And I'm going to continue walking in what I'm doing so that this becomes my life. Not that I'm just sitting here shaking, trying not to eat the cake, trying not to go and do those old behaviors. You know, they call it the white knuckles, where I'm just holding on, hoping and praying, God, please don't let me do it. But now we're walking in recovery. We're finding out how to create and establish a new life, new principles that we're living by. That's why it's important that we're willing for change and we're willing for the consistency of the change. So like I said, you guys amaze me every time we come on this line and you're sharing. Yesterday blew my mind. I was so overjoyed just as we've been coming on this line, and it's only been maybe a month and a half now that we've been doing this in this fashion, but we've been doing it daily and consistent, and the outcomes and the proof of what we're doing, the evidence of what we're doing is being known through each and every one of you. And this is why when you look on our website, you'll see the motto for Joy Life Center is evidence-based coaching from a life-based life coach. So I'm just so did I say that right? No. evidence-based coaching from a faith-based life coach. So I thank God that he is the foundation of my faith. So we can take these evidence-based theories and practices and interventions, and we can apply them to our faith, and we can walk this thing out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's check in. I don't know who was first, so I'm just going to look at my roll call list, and we're going to go in this order. Jenny, Bianca, Kashara, and Miss Susu. If you guys can check in that order, it'll be appreciated. Go ahead, Miss Jenny. Go ahead and check in.
Good morning, and again, good morning to all. I of course, on one session you had, we were speaking about what relaxes me. It is raining. I'm very relaxed. I'm very relaxed today, and right now while on a meeting, eating my leftover little soup I made yesterday. My chicken feet soup.
Oh,
No.
haven't had that in years.
Oh, okay. I just thank God for my healing process. It's coming along better and better. I'm getting better and better every day.
Yes.
I just thank God. I've been I know I did it before, but before I had before my incident and my stroke, I find myself thanking God every day for waking me up in the morning. I thank him more because he saved me. He gave me another chance. I'm alive, and some people didn't wake up on today or yesterday.
Yes.
And I'm really grateful. I'm grateful for what I have right now. I'm grateful for what I have. I have more than some, and then even if it's less than what other people have, I'm grateful for what God has given me, because I remember when I was on the street and I didn't have nothing but a crate to sit on downtown LA where I was homeless for 3 years. 3 years I was homeless down there. So I'm grateful on today for a roof over my head and my family, and I don't have to be sitting in the rain like I used
Yes.
to. So I just thank God. I just thank God for another day. So, and I thank God for you, Mrs. Jackson. Is it Mrs. or how do you say it, Miss?
It is Mrs. Thank you.
Mrs. Okay, so I'm Mrs. Chapman,
Go ahead,
and
Mrs. Chapman.
yeah, Jenny. So thank you for I just thank God for the line that's open as well. Like you said, I am guilty of not being consistent because of different things happening in my life. And but I am so grateful that the session is open, that I can, listen in and participate in. And I just thank God for the Joy Life Center. And
Yes.
I thank God for my coach. Thank you. And I thank God for everyone else and for sharing. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're an amazing person, Jenny. I love you. Thank you so much. And continue with your process of healing. Don't worry about it. You're being as consistent as you can today. So that's always a snowball effect. It'll pick up after a while. You're being as consistent as you can. So don't feel guilty about that. Just continue calling in as you can. Thank you so much. All right. Go ahead, Bianca.
Good morning, everyone. I am doing well. A lot of things going on, but I'm doing well, and I'm grateful for the group, and I'm grateful for the things that are going along because it shows growth. Because I do not allow it to consume me. So
Huh.
I'm grateful. I'm just grateful when I can look back. I don't have. It's nice when people tell you, but when I can look back and I can see the growth.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful on today that yes, things may not all be well, but one thing is that it does not consume me the way it used to. So I'm grateful for that, grateful for the class, and grateful to be a part of. Thank you.
Excellent. Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Good morning to you too, Miss Bianca. Let's see, Miss Kashara, good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning,
Hey,
everyone.
good
Hey, yes.
morning.
Yes. Woke up this morning with my mind, hallelujah, stayed on the Lord. I tell you, I am so grateful, so excited about life change.
Yeah.
Um, I've always been a strong person, but I'm so grateful today that I see consistency in my life, and I'm being very persistent in the decisions that I have made and will continue to make.
Mhm.
I'm just overjoyed on today, and I thank God for this open platform for each and every one of us. Sometimes not Paul Morton, Paul Jones says it best. I've had some good days and I've had some bad days. I've had some hills to climb, but in this all of my good days outweigh the bad days, and I'm grateful for that because in spite of what it looked like, I feel like we got the victory in everything, every situation in our lives. Again, we don't always feel like chiming in. Sometimes we have situations I'm just not gonna do it today. I can't do it today. But there's times, and I embrace those times where I'm excited. I'm like looking at the clock and it's wounding up to 9:30, and I'm telling you, I'm looking like, come on, and I'm looking at it, and I chime on probably 10 minutes before, 15 minutes before. I just want to be on the line. I just want to hear what different ones have overcame, and I can share my overcoming with the group.
Yes.
Just as someone I want to piggyback on them saying, I'm so grateful for you as our life coach, and I tell you, it is a blessing. It is a blessing.
Yes.
I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm very happy on today. Don't have any sad stories right now. Like I said, situation on yesterday, it came again, and I was still standing in position.
All right.
So excited that I didn't feel no type of way. I felt good, and was able to hang up. And even when they hung up, they was like, okay, God bless you. God bless you too, sweetheart.
God bless you too.
And that's I'm telling you, I'm so grateful. So I'm excited today about everyone and what we're gonna be talking about, whatever it is that you have for us today. I'm excited, and I'm so grateful for this lifeline and life-changing situation. God bless you.
Wow. God bless you. God bless you, Kashara. That was amazing that you brought that song up. I won't complain. Life gonna go through some ups and downs. You introduced me to that song, and that is an amazing song that speaks to life, and especially us as believers. We just got to get through the moments because it shall be better after a while. I love that. Thank you so much. And let's see, Miss Susu, good morning. Go ahead and chime in. Check in.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Praise God.
Woo!
I thank him for another day, rain or shine. I just thank him for being able to inhale and exhale. I thank him for the resource that he gives us, you, Pastor, oh my God, Miss Jackson, I'm sorry.
Okay.
What's your name? Yeah,
What's
Miss
your name,
Jackson.
girl?
So I just thank God for the resource that he give you to, pass on to us, for life change. You never know until you dig in, until you try. So, and I spoke with one of my sisters this morning, her birthday today, and I was telling her about my travel, this past weekend, and I'll be going again. She was just so amazed.
Like, who is this?
Right, exactly. So, like I say, I'm getting out. I'm feeling it. I want to explore a little bit at a time, though. But I
Wow.
just thank God for the peace that I have, and I've had peace since we've been going through this session and, tapping in, just the nuggets. And I just thank God for it. God bless each and every one that's on there as we share and go through.
That's
Amen.
amazing.
Mhm.
And that's what we were saying yesterday. When others can see your change, you know that's a sign of your recovery. I've been out traveling, I've been out doing things. They're like, who is this?
Yes, yes.
Wow. I love you guys. I love this peace that we're living in. I love this life change. And you know, there's an old saying that says you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but I beg to differ because, you know, we can be stuck in these unwanted behaviors and they can seem like the old dogs of our life. But if we just become willing and submitted, we can teach an old dog new tricks. Speaking of which, I had someone that wanted to come say hello. This is our old dog. His name is Tummy. He's about 17, 18 years old. And every day, even though, say hi, Tummy. Hi. Even though he's an old dog, guess what? He brings new tricks to us every day. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is some days because he's older, he can be very abstinent. He don't want nothing changing. He loves my husband, that's it, that's all. And anyone else he doesn't really care much about until he needs something. But guess what? Even though he's an old dog, every so often he bring a new trick of life to us. And what I mean by that, sometimes he comes and he gives us new affection. Sometimes he'll come and he'll communicate with us differently. Sometimes my husband say, oh, you talk to the dogs. Well, no, I communicate with the dog. You know, he'll give us different signs of how to meet his needs because he can't talk and he can't do for himself. So sometimes he just tap dance before us. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to identify how to deal with the old dogs of our life and teach them new tricks, new ways to express ourselves, new ways to get our needs met. Just like Tummy, you guys remember him. You may see him again soon. So we want to find out today, as we talked on yesterday about how things are changing in our life and the old dogs of our life are changing, the old behaviors of our life, the old boundaries that we had are being broken down, they're being torn down. Well, what happens is now that we're changing behavior, we have to make sure it stay changed and implement new things. So today, since it was mentioned that we have not talked about the drift yet, I wanted to bring that in. I could have swore we talked about it, but at the same time, if we did, it's worth reliving. So we're going to talk about avoiding relapse drift today because, oh my God, I hear so much joy and contentment, so much achievement in your voice that definitely we don't want to go back to the old dogs. We don't want to go back to the old behaviors. We don't want to go back to those things. We want to stay in the newness of getting our needs met, of saying no, the healthy boundaries, the freedom that we're experiencing from walking out these new behaviors. So today, again, like I say, we're going to talk about how to avoid the relapse drift. Now, we look at relapse like, oh my God, I've gone back to enabling. I've gone back to people pleasing. I've gone back to internet porn. I've gone back to drugs. I've went back to drinking. I've gone back to cussing and whatever your unwanted behaviors are. I want you to understand that there's a drift that happens before you even get to the actual relapse. When we get to the actual relapse, meaning when we're actually engaging in the same behaviors again, don't think that just came up out of nowhere. What has happened is there is some drifting away of what grounds us. Now, I don't know if you've ever been on a ship. For my 50th birthday, my husband and I, we went to Ensenada. We took a 4-day cruise and we went to Ensenada, and it was both of our first times on a ship, a big ship. So we were kind of apprehensive and everything. We went down to Long Beach, Newport, wherever it was, to get to the port so that we can go ahead and embark upon the boat. We were so nervous, apprehensive and everything, but when we stepped on the boat, we looked around and there was so much beautiful lights and beautiful people and just everything just going on. And if this story strikes a bell to you, that means we've had this before. Because I always tell that story because it fits what we're talking about. But even though when we had all this apprehension about being on the water 4 days, when we stepped onto the water, onto the boat, we saw all the beautiful people, all the lights and all the activities, the music, all the beautiful people, laughter. And it was just so awesome that guess what? We got so caught up in our surroundings, our environment, the beauty of everything, that when we passed by a certain part of the ship that was more open, that you can see the ocean, the waters, I looked out and we were so far away from the shore. So what am I saying? Sometimes we can become so distracted from our process, even though that was a healthy distraction. But sometimes in our recovery, we can become so distracted by life circumstances, our problems, our financial situations, our businesses, our employments. We can get so distracted by those things that we begin to drift away from the principle, the structure, the very thing that we've put in place to keep us in this straight and narrow. So what we're going to do today is identify what we need to do to stay in this life. What are we doing to stay in the principles of our recovery? What are we doing to stay in the course of our recovery? Now, what happens is when the boat is not anchored, because anchored is when the boat is in the middle of the ocean and it has to drop an anchor in order to stay grounded where it is, so the shore don't take it this way or don't take it that way. But what happens is once you finish your trip and you come back around to now go back to the port, the boat is pulled into a port, a little area that's designed for its parking. But what they don't just park it there. They don't just position it there, but what they have is called mooring lines, mooring. Some of you already know this. It was all new to me. I'm not a fisherman, not a sailor, but we have mooring lines. Excuse me, I'm going to take off this jacket. So what happens is with the mooring lines, it keeps the boat secure in place. And what that is they take the boat and they take the thick rope and they bring it out and they wrap it around a metal piece that's made to strongly keep the boat secure. But they don't use just one. They don't just use just one. They use 4, 2 in the front and 2 in the back, so that it is evenly grounded. So when the winds come, strong winds may come. When these winds come, if the boat is not moored where it's supposed to be, if it's not there in its port moored, because even though it's positioned in the right place, a strong wind could come. An earthquake can shake the waters. We have earthquakes every day, I've learned. A tornado can hit, depending on where you live, and it can move the boat right on out of position. And before you know it, your boat is way down the King's Highway in some shore that you know nothing about. Or now it's demolished because now it's been crashed against things because there's no guidance, there's no lead. So what happens here is what we have to do is identify what's mooring the boat. I have to make sure that the moors, the ropes are secured tightly on those metal anchors on the port, so that when strong winds blow, the boat, it may kind of move by the wind, but it ain't going nowhere. This is what we have to do with our recovery. Excuse me, guys. This is what we have to do with our recovery. We want to moor our recovery. And what that means is, what are my mooring lines? What is it that keeps me in position? I've been parked in this new life. I heard you guys' testimonies yesterday. I heard you this morning. Life is changing, and it's changing for the better. I like how Bianca say, all might not be well in my life. It doesn't mean everything is perfect in my life. It doesn't mean that everything is going que sera, sera. But what happens is I can be content in it and not go back to unhealthy behaviors because of it, because I'm moored in my change. So we're going to identify what are our mooring lines. So I'm going to give some examples. Mooring lines are not like attitudes or feelings, because those things change and go. But what are you doing to make sure that you're anchored, that you're moored in this change? Well, you can say, well, I call Joy Life Center group line Project Change Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 11. You may say, I speak to my life coach once a week for an hour, concerning my life change, or I talk to my pastor, I stay under sound mentorship. I talk to them at least once a month. I go to discipleship classes, whatever you're doing for this life change to help you in this life change. So sorry. So whatever you're doing to help you in this life change. So that may be also to be accountable to somebody. I'm being accountable. I'm taking classes. I'm reading a book. What are you doing and how often are you doing it? Because what this is going to do, guys, this is going to identify, this is my plan for recovery. This is what I have to do in order to maintain this healthy change. So when I find myself drifting away from that, then I can recognize, oh, I'm in relapse drift. I'm in relapse drift. So I want you guys to start thinking about that. What am I doing? And I mean, measure it. Don't just list it. Well, I do this, I do that. How often do you do it? Do you do it every day? Do you do it once a week? Do you do it once a month? How long do you do it? If you're doing some self-help groups, I attend a self-help group on Fridays, on the third Friday of the month, and that's from 3 to 4, or I make sure that I take time to read my Bible, because that's the Bible is our foundation of healthy change. So to transition, to transform, I'm doing that at least once daily, taking time to pray, connecting with my God, being in field and because sometimes, we could go through the whole day and say, oh my God, I haven't even spent time with God. It happens. And if it don't happen to you, I envy you. So I want you to know that whatever it is, this is what I'm doing, or even talk about things that I'm trying to implement. But I want us to identify, what are we doing? How often are we doing it? And what time frames are we giving it? Because remember, when we schedule our time, we want to look at our schedule and see, what are we doing to invest in us and our healthy change? Because we can't change anything we don't give time to. There's no mooring lines. So what are my mooring lines? What helps secure me in this position that I've positioned myself in of change? So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and I want you guys to go ahead and unmute your phone and just share with me, what is your mooring lines? Go ahead, unmute your phone and share.
Bianca, first and foremost is staying connected to God. And that's a daily thing. Well, what do? I pray, I read. Also,
hold on one second. Remember, I want you to list what you do, how often you do it, and what times do you do it, because these are our recovery plans. So again,
okay,
when we identify it, because we can say, oh, I pray, I read, I do this, that, and the other, I go to groups, I do that. But how often do you do it? When do you do it?
Okay.
Okay.
So staying connected to God every morning at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
I'm doing prayer and reading the Bible and listening to gospel music. May not be in that order, but in that time frame. That's daily. I do group Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. to 11 o'clock a.m. Also, I have I do discipleship class once a month. Bible study every Wednesday.
From what time? To what time?
I'm sorry. Every Wednesday from 7 p.m. to about 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock. From 7 to approximately 8 or 8:30. That's every Wednesday. Let's see. I exercise. I walk. I don't have a set time that I walk, but I walk every day.
Okay.
Every day, whether it be inside my outside or whether it be inside. I schedule a walk 30, 45 minutes at a time, and maybe I'll try to do that twice in that particular day.
Okay.
I make sure that I have therapy. So I do talk to a therapist. Right now it's kind of like we don't have it like every month or something like that. I think it's like every 2 months or something like that.
Okay.
But I do have a therapist that I talk to also.
Okay.
Along with, checking in with my own my apostle and talking. And I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but there it is.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Bianca. And that was a perfect example to kick us off with. What we're doing, what is my plan for recovery? So I can see how much am I investing in me. Sometimes we feel so drained because we're pouring out for so many others, or we're pouring out in our unhealthy behaviors, and we're getting the outcome of just resentment, restriction, depression, and pain, and just discontentment with ourselves. But now we're identifying what our plan is, how much time we're investing in ourselves. This is my recovery plan. I have to have a set of principles. Everything has a principle that it lives by. If you're a Christian, if you're a Buddhist, if you're a Muslim, if you are an engineer, if you are a nurse, if you're a drug and alcohol counselor, everyone has its principles to live by. If you're a gangbanger, if you are a gangbanger, you have a code that you live by. Everyone has a code. If you are a prisoner, you have a code, a principle that you live by. What is going to be the principle we live by individually? What is my principles to keep me? Because guess what? Everybody has a strength and everyone has a weakness. Superman had to learn what his weakness was, which was kryptonite. But he also identified his strength. So I have to identify what's my parameter, what's Andrea's parameter, so that I am in the healthiness, that I'm living the best life from myself. Because I can have the best car, I can have the best husband, I can have the best house, I can have the wonderful children. But if I'm not living within the best of my parameter, then guess what? I can just blow all that away. So that was awesome, Bianca. All right, I see Miss Jenny's line is unlocked. Go ahead, Miss Jenny. Go ahead and share your mooring lines.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, I didn't even mean to do that. I just sat the phone down for a second.
Oh, okay. You forgot to mute your phone. Okay. Well, you can go ahead and mute, and we'll see who's next.
No, I'll go ahead.
Okay.
Well, my daily thing is kind of inconsistent and all over the place, I must admit.
Okay. Everybody got to start somewhere.
Yes, ma'am. But when I am doing something, I have a prayer line to join at 6:30 Monday through Friday. The sessions, the grouping 9:30 at the Joy Line, Monday through Friday.
Okay.
at 9:30 a.m. Every week, every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Bible study for an hour or two.
Okay.
Discipleship class every second Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m.
Awesome.
Hour or two. And ready but can't go right yet. I go to service. I congregate every Sunday morning.
Okay. Now you say you
Starting,
can't right now, so that's something that's kind of a breach in your process. Are you doing anything right now to fill that void of your recovery plan?
yes, I try while I'm here. Right now, I believe the medication that I take, sometimes it will knock me out.
Mhm.
So I fall asleep and wake up. I take longer naps than usual, which is not my intention, but it just happens.
Mhm.
And I do my little therapy, exercises that my therapist gave me. I
Mhm.
don't do it every day, but I just try to exercise my body. Um, so I do something every day, but I'll do my therapy exercise every day.
Okay.
I that's different times of the day. Um, I stay in connection with my apostle pastor,
Mhm.
at least once or twice a week.
Okay.
And the only thing that really gets me that is that I'm not too consistent of reading my word. That's what I'm working on. Uh, I know it's not. I know sometimes it don't happen every day, but it's just the routine of that. I say, hey, 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, and it doesn't happen at those times sometimes.
Mhm.
So I just try to read my word at a consistent time, which is not happening right now.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love
Thank you.
this. Like you said, you're not as consistent as you would be. But remember, we all start somewhere. We all start somewhere, and what I would suggest to you is to read your word early before all the distractions of life and the kids, the husband, the bills start coming in. Before I would suggest, if that works best for you, because sometimes we wait for the end of the day. And I don't know about you, but the end of the day, I'm tired, I'm burnt out. And when I go to bed, that's when I just want to sleep. I'm tired. I just want to relax, and relax means sleep. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure that you've experienced the same. When you start reading that word, it's like, and when I was a little girl, they called it Mr. Sandman. Mr. Sandman, that demon Sandman. When you read your word, he comes and sprinkle that sleepy dust in your eyes. And all of a sudden, you could have been watching the Harlequin romance novel printed out or written out or acted out on the screen and all into it. But when that power of the word comes, it's so powerful that it seems like every force of darkness comes to separate you, and you start getting sleepy. You can't understand the words anymore. So just as an encouragement or as a suggestion, if you can schedule a time early, maybe even set your alarm. Like I said, I schedule things, I set my alarm to things, even set your alarm, this is my time with God. I like how Bianca has it scheduled, whereas she talked to God and she reads a word, listen to gospel music. Like she said, maybe not always in that order, but just have that little bubble time with you and God. So maybe it can be more consistent. But thank you so much, Miss Jenny. That was amazing. Anyone else?
Yes.
All right, go ahead, Miss Kashara.
Okay, so let me tell you my pretty much my schedule.
Okay.
So first thing in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, every morning from Sunday to Monday around.
Wow.
I'm on the prayer line having prayer.
Okay.
God have a way of prompting us to pray, because a lot of times I've been guilty of it when it's someone else's morning to pray. Sometimes because you're so tired, you'll drift off to sleep.
Right.
And And so what happens is sometimes the individuals are not able to pray,
Right.
and I have to take the slack.
Okay.
So God give it to me to pray. And then I can tell you just about every single morning around 3 o'clock, God pulls on me to pray.
Wow.
And I know my day is so busy always, but God have a way of getting our attention to do what it is we need to do to help us to stand, to keep us planted, to keep us focused. And if it's pulling on you, you might as well get up, because you're not going to be able to go back to sleep. So you might as well get up, and do what God have called you to do. And because sometimes someone else's life depends on you being obedient. Wow. And I tell you, that's my most sacred time, is praying. And that's about 3 o'clock in the morning, along with the prayer at 6:30 every morning. Mm-hmm. Even, let me say this real quick, even this morning, I put a post that we will resume because one of the prayer warriors was not able to get on. I said, well, I'm gonna shut this one down because I'm so tired. But when I called the line, there was people chiming in. Wow. So I had to go ahead and release the prayer anyway. Yeah. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that because it gives me the extension of praying. Yeah. So that's one thing. And then right after prayer, we're reading the word, and we what I try to, implement in the prayer is that someone bring a word, even if it's a scripture, or break it down however God give it to you. And therefore I'm always getting a word. And then Tuesday nights, once a month, I'm on discipleship. Okay. And sometimes I need the word so bad, I chime in every Tuesday. Like, what Tuesday was it? I'm gonna just chime in so I can get it, And
so I'm hungry for it. Yes, I love that.
Yes. And so even when it's not, I'm still grateful to God because Tuesday, every Tuesday, we have a second Tuesday and a fourth Tuesday. Third Tuesday, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. And now we have a fourth Tuesday. So every month, that second Tuesday and all the way around, we're on there on the Bible study. So we're hearing the word of God. We're releasing the word of God. And then on Wednesday, we can't get enough of it. We're right back. Wow. From 7 o'clock p.m. with another Bible study. And now on Thursday, we're on the line every Thursday from 7 o'clock. With another Bible study. Wow. And then on Fridays, we've come up with now, we're going to be praying an hour, Friday, 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time for 1 hour. And then, just how things is with the schedule, God has made it where you have no time but prayer time. Yeah. And even when I go to sleep, I get into bed, I want to pray. I'm so tired and worn out. That wake, he'll shift me, he'll shake me, he'll wake me at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, the time is now. Yeah. Ooh, the time is now. Yeah. And I tell you, it blesses me. So I know sometimes we don't want to get up. Right. But like I said, you might as well. But he have formed a schedule for me. In the daytime, I got so much, and I'm grateful for 9:30 a.m. every morning, because not just the word, but everyone is pouring into your spirit. Yeah. The excitement and the good things that is happening in their lives, and you're able to pour back out and share what God has done for you and doing for you. And then the awesome Mrs. Jackson has opened up, a platform for, let me tell you, you can't give therapy if you need therapy. So you got to be able to be receptive to the things that you got to release. Yeah. So it's a blessing within itself to be a part of this awesome, 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 awesome movement. And I tell you, I'm grateful for Joyce Center. I'm grateful for the life changing. I'm grateful.
Yes.
Always something. I'm able to pour some of this that we're being taught into my own family.
That's what
You
it's
know,
about.
I'm able to, and it makes sense to them. You know, it really makes sense. And I'm so grateful
Yes.
so much. Now, the exercising part, I'm working on it because I do
Me
know,
too.
I do know there comes a time in our life we have to, you know, I love to cook. I love to cook. And I'm trying to seek God for healthier things that taste just as good.
Yeah.
So that's I'm on a regimen now of trying to
Okay.
get into something that I can do also to keep my mind as well as healthy for the body, not just my body, all those that support.
Yes.
But
Wow.
I'm researching a lot of stuff. So I'm just so excited about things. I don't have time to just be all over the place, idle things. I'm trying to stay focused with the positive things.
Yes.
Just moving forward and all of those things that he has strategically given and put in our hands to do. So I'm excited. I love all of you guys. I'm telling you, I'm so grateful. I just see a difference. I see a difference. I see a change. Being focused, stand focused, keeping your hands to the plow will keep your mind out of turmoil.
Wow. Thank you, Kashara. Oh my God. I just love that. I love that. You just hear the power of life change in your voice. Life change, though it may seem hard initially, you can see as you begin to see the fruit blossom, as you begin to see the development of the change, you'll hear that fire that I just heard from you just now. So this is why we're talking about what's going to keep me right here. What's going to keep me right here? I need to stay in this trajectory of change. I need to stay right here. I don't want to be drifting off to the left or drifting off to the right. Like I said, when my husband and I got on that boat, we were totally distracted from our apprehension and from our fear. That was a good thing, but the same way does the opposite work. Sometimes we get distracted from our life change, from the principles of our own mooring lines that we've set in place to keep us grounded. You know, if it's for me to call into this line every morning, if this is a part of my recovery change, then guess what? When I stop calling in, I'm starting to drift. When I was consistent and now I'm not, I'm starting to drift. When I said, oh, I don't need it, then I'm drifting away. I'm drifting away into dangerous waters again. You know, so that was amazing. And you guys are the bomb. You guys have so much in place. And I love how you're starting your day early. And you're giving God your first fruits of thanks and praise and gratitude, you know, and you casting your cares upon him. So now when you come out of prayer, you thank God for what someone else didn't receive. I'm thanking you for your presence. I'm thanking you for another day. And I'm so grateful for everything you give me. I like how Miss Jenny said, I may not have as much as someone else, but I definitely have more than someone else. But whatever space I find myself in, I thank God for it. I'm grateful. So you guys are amazing. Let's see, Miss Susu. What is your regimen? What is your mooring lines? Go ahead and share with us this morning.
Mooring line, boy, I'm so blessed for each and every one that shared and see like we basically on the same base with different times and things, you know. And mine is like early in the morning, whenever I realize that I'm still in this world, you know, don't even have to have my eyes open. I'm thanking God, you know, praising him. And I have prayer in the morning. Sometime, you know, I might be running a little late and have to have a little quick prayer, but I try to get up because I need to be up at 6 and, you know, forming my day. So 5:30. It's not every morning though. 5:30 I pray, you know, and read a scripture or do a, you know, devotion. And then from there, you know, I'm making my day, and I can say like basically the rest of them, the morning prayer, and you know, the Bible study, discipleship, you know, trying to stay connected to God, you know, because yeah, he's, you know, he's empowering me to stay strong and keep away, you know, like with the what you call it, enabling, you know, you know, I'm being more focused there. And like you say, with that self-talk, I have to do that every so often, you know. And another thing too, and I'm not engaging with the people or person, you know, that I am enabling, you know. I try to stay away from that, not to engage, you know, whatever said, okay, I don't continue the conversation, whatever. I kind of distance that, you know. Like I say, be more mindful of my tone, you know, and just enjoying the freedom there is, you know, and the classes that I'm attending this Monday through Friday here, you know, with you, Ms. Jackson, and just trying to be proactive, you know, and enjoying life, and you know, just to keep, not to be what you call it, still, you know, not to just be still idle. I like to be active, you know, keep my mind active, you know, and that helps me. That strengthens me, not to just sit and think of things as I can't do anything about. So be occupied, and that's me basically, you know. And I take my walks in the morning, even if it's one lap. I do something, you know, I take the lap. You know, walking is good for me. I try to get on that bike, but I don't know. Something happens there. I can't do too much on that. But what I can do, I do. And now I'm going to start with stretching. Now that I've had my procedure done, I'm going to try to straighten up. I'm tall, standing tall in my mind, but I want my body to stay straightened up too. So anyway, that's me. That's me.
Wow, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. You know, this life change, it didn't come overnight. You know, just like these unhealthy behaviors, you know, they may have come quickly because somewhere there was some pleasure in it, some comfort in it. We just kind of became, we threw caution to the wind and just continued to allow the brain circulation to circulate in that same matter. So the recycling of the unhealthy behaviors continue, but today we're identifying them and we're moving them, we're eschewing them from our lives, and we're setting our own recovery plan. And I hear you guys talk about in your recovery plans, it includes prayer. It includes getting to the word, feeding your spiritual self. That's amazing. You know, getting into having the word sprinkled throughout your day, throughout your week, throughout your month, you know, having prayers sprinkled throughout your time, you know, excellent. These things feed our spirit, which give us a better outcome in our health. You know, some of you or all of you, you know, now you're building in your practicality, in your behaviors. You're calling in to Joy Life Center Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 11, and you're learning how to deal with our behaviors. You're learning how to break cycles and to discontinue runs, and we're learning how to do so many different things. So identify who we are and how do we even interact with ourselves to be our best selves so that we can live our best life. People will say, hey, living my best life, but yet they're bound. They're bound to things and stuff. They're bound to old behaviors, and they don't realize your life could be better. It could be better if you could just eschew some of those old unwanted behaviors. So that's amazing. I love that. Now I want to ask, now that we have some general idea on what we need to continue doing so that we don't drift away from that process, you know, drifting is easy to do. It's easy to do because we get caught up on stuff. Oh, I do it tomorrow. Oh, I do it later. Before you know it, you done drift so far away from the shore, you can't even see your recovery process anymore. And then you start having some compromising moments, and you start having some downfalls until you go back into a relapse of behavior. So we find that now I want to ask everyone, you found some things that you need to do. in order to keep this change present and moving forward. And with everything, it's going to build, it's going to get better, it's going to perfect it. Everything is going to continue moving and getting better for you. And you're going to see the fruits of your labor, and you're going to love it just as you're seeing it now. But with that, we all know that there's an enemy of our soul. So if there's an enemy of our soul, then there's some devices that's planted in our natural life. So I want to ask you, what are some things, people, places, activities that we need to avoid? We talked about some things we need to do for our mooring lines to keep us grounded in this life that we're living now, and this new era, because things that are new, sometimes we can deviate from it and kind of relapse back into the old if we don't continue the regimen. Now, I've been trying to lose 50 pounds since 1988, I think. And sometimes I'll get in a regimen, but if I heard that I lost just 1 pound, I'm ready to celebrate. And celebrating always includes food. So then I find myself relapsing in behavior because of the celebration. So what's some things I need to avoid? I need to avoid, for one, celebrating with food, but I need to avoid I'll need to avoid the draw, or the thought. I need to avoid compromising my process, the lure of compromising my process. Maybe I need to avoid at certain times, maybe not all the time, but I need to avoid some of my people that our whole relationship is going out to eat. You know, you have your friends, hey, what you doing? Let's go out and eat. You know, just like you have your friends, hey, let's go out and smoke. Let's go out to the bar. Let's go to the club. Let's go over here to the shop. That I'm trying to move and change my behavior. So maybe those are some people I need to avoid. I need to avoid some places. I need to avoid some things. So what are the people, places, and things that you need to avoid? Go ahead, unmute your phone and share.
Well, okay, I'm thinking about, or a thought I have, avoid, like you said, avoid the people and the confrontation, you know, that and conversation that draws you into that, you know. Excellent. If you can't have a positive conversation, you know, you just, you know, bow out, you know. That's what I say. Get away from it.
Yeah.
You know, if you can. If you can.
Wow, that's perfect. Very well spoken. Another thing that I thought about that you said, that's great all by itself. But as you were speaking, I also remembered how you talked about you avoid that idle time. I have to avoid idleness.
Right.
You know, so that's awesome. Finding out what do I need to avoid that put in cycle or in the spiral of those old behaviors. So that's good too. So certain conversations, I love that. She says, I avoid that. Certain conversations that you can see this is going bad. Time for me to shake the spot. It's time for me to avoid that conflict. It's time for me to avoid that situation, because I know that if I do, I'm going to be back in my old cycle. So that's wonderful. And I'm going to stay busy. You know, I'm not going to just eat the bread of idleness. I'm going to stay busy, and I'm going to stay living, and I'm going to stay functioning. I'm going to take healthy risk, you know, and find things. Like she said, she's going places her sister didn't even recognize her. You know, you did what? You're going where? You know, I'm no longer eating the bread of idleness, but I'm living today. That's wonderful. Thank you, Miss Susu. What's some other things, guys, that we need to avoid for our recovery's sake?
Being in places where you shouldn't be, avoiding the temptation or that which getting away from just negativity, because negativity will drive you in a place where you don't want not just the things of negativity, the people that are negative. Because you got people that'll speak to you in such a negative way, but sometimes we have to learn how to forfeit that, get away from it as far from it as we can.
From the east to the west.
Because negative, they used to say, have a saying, misery love company. And if somebody is miserable, they don't want to be miserable alone. They want to pull you in and suck you into their negativity. You know, ever hear someone arguing and you don't want to argue, but they want to keep arguing, keep on going and keep on nagging and keep on there until you go and because now that negativity done fed into your spirit. And sometimes it's not that that's who we are, but we get tired of it. Yeah. And we have to avoid it. We have to shun it. Even the word of God tells us, shun the very appearance of evil. Get away from that look evil, that appear evil, that you think it's evil. Get away from it. You know, and get around the positive things, the things that's going to prompt you to do those things which are good. You know, to be in a setting where you can progress from it, you know, even if it's going through your process, you can progress from it, you know. And I'm just, I'm telling you, my mindset, a difference in my mindset, like, I can't even, I'm just overjoyed about some things that is happening in my life. So I would just say, just avoid it, get away from it. Don't allow it in your circle. Stay in a positive circle. Stay in a positive way. Stay around those that are positive and wanting bigger and better things in life. And you will see that negative force going away, and you don't want to go back to the things that you did, forgetting those things which are behind me, and I'm pressing forward to the positive things. My goodness. Woo, woo, woo. I'm gonna quit.
I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. Life change brings joy when we go in that right direction. But Kashara is so right. Loosing ourselves from negativity. You know, you may have a job where you have to work with negative people, and that's the job that pays you, and you're trying to help change those people or doing whatever God has committed them into your hands to do. But at the same time, I don't have to place those people in my personal circle. I don't have to place those people in my private circle. That negativity we must shun, because it's contagious. Like the word of God says, bad company affects good morals. So therefore, that bad company, that negativity, that weight of ugliness, you know, when you talk around people that gossip, you know, the gossipers, the ones where nothing is ever good, where they have to murmur and complain about everything. It's like, oh wow, the cup is too light, but then it's too dark up here. And you know, it's like, wow, okay, there's no pleasing people. They have to go through their process. We're going to do what we're assigned to do in that life, whether it's to smile, whether it's to love them, whether it's to preach the gospel to them, share a testimony, or just let them know that they are loved. Whatever that assignment is, if you're maybe their daycare worker, or maybe you're their convalescent home nurse, or maybe you're the grocery clerk, you're their grocery clerk in the store, or maybe you're their customer. Either way, whatever I'm positioned here to do, I'm going to do that. But I'm going to continue to move on, because I cannot allow negativity to weigh me down, because it is a weight. So Kashara, thank you so much for mentioning that. Anyone else? What's some things that we need to avoid? We found some things that we need to do in our recovery, some mooring lines that we need to set the strength and the security of our recovery in. But what are some things that we really need to kind of avoid? What are some of those things in your life? Go ahead, unmute your phone and share. Let's see. Anyone? I don't know if we heard from Miss Bianca or Miss Jenny. What's some things you need to avoid? what's some actual activities you need to avoid? And even in this place, I want to ask, even what you're thinking, you know, when we're talking about mooring lines, we don't add attitudes or, you know, or these confessions. I'm just going to feel good despite it all. No, that's an affirmation. We can't just feel good despite it all. What are we going to do so that we can feel good despite it all? What's the regimen of the change that we're going to live in? This what's going to be our new code. But in this case, what's some things I need to avoid? I know one thing, always negative thinking, bad thinking, pessimistic thinking, doubtful thinking, defeated thinking. Those things I need to avoid. I need to avoid when everything looks blue in my life, when it looks like nothing's going to change. The kids are going to get bad reports. The husband's going to leave you. The wife is going to run far, far away with someone else. When those thoughts become consuming in your mind, those things we need to avoid. What does God tell us to do? He says to cast your cares unto him because he cared for you much. I love the fact that though he sit high, I may not see him, but he sits high, but his arms are not too short that he can't reach down and fix my situation. So I have faith and I have hope that he's going to do it. So therefore, I'm going to avoid doubt. I'm going to avoid fear. I'm not going to allow fear to paralyze me. I'm going to avoid people that cultivate my fear. I know that, girl. I wouldn't be doing that either if I was you. I'm going to stay away from people that enhance my fear. People that, you know, I like to talk about David when he went behind the strongholds. Who did he bring with him? He brought in people that was reinforcing his state. He brought in people that were in debt, the ones that were not so well known, those that were, they already had a bad mindset. They was in a bad situation. So him being on the run from his spiritual father, he was in a state. He was, you know, behind that stronghold with people like him. Sometimes you need to bring somebody different in to lead you to a different place that you haven't been. And I thank God for his rescuing power, because when I am behind the strongholds of my mind and everything I see, do, or people I hear, they reiterate my negative thinking. They reiterate my fear. They reiterate and add to and reinforce the fortress of my negativity. That's when I have to realize I got to get around a new circle. So what is some things that you need to avoid? Go ahead, unmute your phone and share. Well, all right, guys, I want you guys to be thinking about that, because we got to know our kryptonites of life, what we need to stay away from, what we need to avoid like the plague, as they say. Bianca, were you about to share?
Yes. Old ways of thinking.
Oh,
Yeah, old ways of thinking. You know, not being a pessimistic thinker, you know, being positive, positive thinking. And if I have to say anything, it definitely be the way that I think, the way that I perceive things, you know, because a lot of times I could go way over to the left. I've gotten better, but I could go over to the left and take a moment and bring me back over to the right. But if I start early enough,
okay.
then I won't have to worry about drifting to the left.
Okay, you can bring yourself back.
Yeah, I'll be right there in that middle place where I need to be. So yeah, it would definitely be my thinking and not being so fearful. I like Miss Susu. I love to hear her as she was speaking about you know, just getting out and, you know, I ain't trying to do a whole bunch of stuff, but you know, step by step and stuff like that, and how she's enjoying life. So that would be something that I would continue to do, because I've already started that also. So continue to doing that, you know, not getting caught up in what actually is going on with me, maybe physically, you know, but still trying to enjoy life.
Yes.
On the grounds that I can enjoy life. There may be some things that now I may not be able to do, but there's a lot of things that I still can't do.
Yes.
So why sit around and cry over, as the older people used to say, over spilled milk? When
Yes.
there's other things that I could just I just do other things. I may not be able to ride a bicycle, not because I can't ride it, because once you know how to ride a bike, they tell me you always know how, but I might not be able to ride one today.
Right.
But guess what? I can find something else to do.
Yes.
You know, my life is not built on just me riding bicycles, Yeah, but anyway, but yeah, that's what I would say.
Excellent. Amazing. That's right. If I can't overcome this, there's a whole plethora of things in life that I could be focusing my attentions on rather than just mourning and sulking and feeling negative and a bad self-image of myself because I can't ride a bike. There's so much else in life I could be doing. I love that. Thank you. Anyone else? What's some things we need to avoid? People we need to avoid. Places we need to avoid. Situations, circumstances in our power that we need to avoid. What's some things? Come on, talk to me. Talk to me. All right. Well, I guess we're in thought about it. It's 10:44. I'm going to read to us our last thought of the day. And it's going to be, my opportunities are in change. I love that. And it has to do with personal growth. And that's what we all are doing. We all are personally growing. Today I didn't do any virtual background. I didn't do any filters. I invited you in my home because I wanted us to have a face-to-face. So you see the non-studio protective devices. So you see all the imperfections, and that's okay because that's what life is all about. Let's face our imperfections. Let's face the parts of our life that's not so perfect. Let's face those things so that we can identify them as what they are. And we can go forth and create change for them. So today we're going to be reading from the place of personal growth. And it reads, it's common to hear a recovering person voice apprehension about impending change. Everyone lots of times fear change. This apprehension only results from our fear that change will mean loss. I'm not going to be able to do that anymore. I'm not going to be able to be with these people anymore. There can never be any permanent loss if we are solidly anchored in our spiritual connection. Our God is the guiding force in all change and will make all things right as events unfold. We should also remember that change brought us to our present situation, whether good or bad. Any good we now enjoy came to us by a certain process. Even painful experiences have been valuable lessons. There is no way we can avoid change. No way, guys. It is a built-in condition of life. I love how that's said. We can accept it more gracefully if we view it as God's way of bringing us opportunity. I love that. So today, any change that I sense today is but a signal for the arrival of a new opportunity. Even if changes seem uncomfortable, I'll welcome all such change because it's taken us somewhere. We have a few minutes left. Anybody want to give any comment, question, comment, statements to our last thought for the day, or our comments, our lesson today? What's on your mind?
This is Jenny.
Go ahead, Jenny.
Hi. Yes. I just wanted to say that I'm very grateful for the group, and I just got back on the line. A lot of times when I get in group, everybody and their mother want to call me, but and ever since that I got out the hospital, I've been having more than usual calls from Kaiser, where I was. They're great. They check up on me, and I have appointments all the time that I don't even know of.
That's good.
But yeah, it is. But like I said again, I'm grateful, and I'm grateful for my coach. I'm grateful for my counselor. And I just thank God. Like I always say, I thank God that able to think.
Yes.
Able to think, and it helps so much in the everyday life, and it is life changing. Because I know definitely my life has changed in these past 5 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And because just anything that's new and anything that can help you to stay girded up, and of course in this world, because sometimes it could be so hard that a lot of people do relapse. It gets tough, you know, but if you have God, if you stay in God, you know, God will help you to sustain. And with that question that you asked earlier, I can't go to the barbershop, if I don't need a haircut, but eventually I'll get a haircut if I keep on going.
Keep going. Yes.
So I've learned a long time ago I had to change places, people, and things. I can't go to the bar, with my family member that just about all of them drink.
Yes.
I can't go to the bar and then, hey, just give me a Diet Coke. I'll eventually order a beer.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting drunk around me. Oh no, just give me some more ice.
Yeah.
But you over here partying. So so I just can't hang where I used to hang, but where I hang now is more positive. I have to hang with the more positive. Like they said, if you want to be a millionaire, you got to hang around the millionaires.
That's
if you want to
right.
be a saint of God, you got to be, you got to be in the house of God.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm just grateful, and I just thank you so much. You have a great day, ma'am.
Thank you so much. You're absolutely right. Thank you. Yes, yes. We got to make those environmental changes, people, places, and things. That's important. Go ahead, Miss Kashara.
Yes. Last words. I just want to say, earlier I heard Miss Bianca, and she was saying about things that she, her mind, the things that she think. But even in the word of God, it says, so as a man thinketh, so is he. But we got to change our thought process.
That thinking, yeah.
That we have to change that. Even if we feel a negative vibe, you think positive. You think on the goodness of God. You think on the things that'll take you out of that mindset that will lead you into negativity or lead your demise. So I'm a strong believer in the mind, because the mind will take you where you don't want to go. And somebody, I heard a young man say, and it'll leave you longer than you want to be there. So the thing of it is, if we can change our mindset, and as Miss Jenny said, the places that we used to go, we just don't go. You can't go there. Let me tell you something. If there's a man that I was in love with, and I couldn't breathe without him, but I knew he was toxic.
Yes.
I don't care how much in love I thought or think I am, shun away from it. Yeah. Because that is going to be your demise. That's what the enemy, if you like apples, he ain't going to bring you oranges. He going to bring what he know you like. And that very thing that he know you like, he gonna put it in before you in abundance. It's gonna be so much, you're gonna look around and be like, whoa, it's a whole lot. I know I can pick off of one of these and keep on moving. No, because once you pick off of it, you're gonna be stuck right there. And the enemy knows that. Yeah. So everything that's in our mind that we know is negative, in our thoughts, in whatever it is, in our view, we have to just cut it off. And it don't mean you don't love the individuals, don't mean that you're not caring for them or you're not praying for them or you don't have love for them. It just means that some stuff is toxic. Yeah. We got to get away from it at whatever cost. We got to get away from it so that it won't take us back into that place where we once was and have been brought from. Yeah. And that's just my theory about it. I've learned, I know, because I had to push some things out of the way, some people out of the way, and move forward in those positive things. And that's what's going to keep us in the positive realm, things that are nurturing to us and that is wholesome to us. But if we know that it's going to bring us pain, heartaches, distraction, back into things that we've been brought out of, then you don't go back. You get away from it. Miss Jenny said it best. You know, if you know you gonna take a, you know, oh well, it's okay. We're not gonna be, you know, it's okay. You know, you don't have to drink. That's the first lie the enemy have told you, because he knows that's something that you've been in. And once you're around it, it's gonna cue up that curiosity. So that's where it all comes from, the curiosity. And that's the one that killed the cat. But satisfaction was brought him back. So if we got to get away from it, and let that cat stay where he is.
Absolutely, Miss Kashara. I love that. Absolutely. Leave the cat where it is. I thank you guys. You guys are amazing. I love you. And I just honor each and every one of your processes, because you're moving forward and you're moving forward into the better, We want more from God, but at the same time, and I don't mean but, because we want more from God, but we have an obligation as well. Faith without works is dead. So there's some work that we need to work on in our life. There's some things that we need to move. You know, I'm reminded as we're in our close, I'm reminded when Jesus went all over the providence, just healing and delivering and raising the dead, and limbs coming back, and leprosy being healed, and all these different things. But when he got back to Galilee, when he got back to his hometown, the word says he was only able to do very little miracles. His hands were tied. Why? Because of the mindset of the people. They looked at him as common. They looked at him in disbelief. They had a lack of belief that he was the Messiah because of their mindsets. Oh, that's the Joseph's son. That's the carpenter's son. You know, they were stuck in their mind. Our minds can keep us from prospering, just like Miss Kashara said. So remember, guys, watch your thoughts. Watch your thoughts, because they become your words. Watch your words, because they become your actions. Watch your actions, because they become your habits. Watch your habits, because they become your character. Watch your character, because it becomes your destiny. So watch what you think, because it affects your destiny. And we're like, God, why you didn't do it? God, why you didn't do it? Why you didn't work on your faith? Why you didn't work on the things that you think? Why you didn't work on your belief systems? Why you didn't work on your anger? Why you didn't work on some of your unwanted behaviors? That all comes from this central nervous system of the brain, which is its intelligence system is our mindset. So let's heal in our mind, and we can heal in our emotions and our behaviors. We can walk into the habits that are good, and we can walk into the destiny that God has for us. So God bless you guys. You know what I say, live free, guys. Let's live free from the chains that have us bound. Love you all. Have a great, prosperous day.